Welcome back to Queen Fabulous. Let's talk about it. I'm Queen,
And I'm fabulous.
and we have a nice hot topic today to talk about, and we're getting ready to get into it. All right,
Yes.
Fabulous.
So today we're going to talk about dealing with narcissistic people and the experience of it.
Oh, Father.
They'll have you go thinking you're going crazy if you're not careful.
Exactly,
Have you
exactly,
checking yourself like, is it me?
exactly, Fabulous,
Like that's an
exactly.
experience to
Yeah,
deal with. So
yeah,
we're going to
yeah,
talk about it today.
yeah.
What it's like to deal with people that don't take no accountability, and
Mm-mm.
they're like master manipulators and projecting
Yeah,
back on other people. So
yes.
let's talk about it.
And you know what? I think everybody in the whole world have a narcissist in their family
Mhm.
somewhere. So they think that they're better than people. It's all about them. They're full of pride. They can do no wrong.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
won't hold themselves accountable.
Mm-mm.
This is just what it is. It's just all about them, me, myself, and I. And that's a very dangerous place to be in because if you're a narcissist, that means that you have shut yourself out from really seeing the bigger picture,
Right.
which is the truth,
Mhm.
which is dealing with truth. And narcissists, people, they don't like to deal with the truth.
Mm-mm.
The truth
Mm-mm.
does something to them. It shines a light on them that they don't like. They don't like to be in that light when they are being held accountable
Yep.
for what they're doing
Oh,
wrong.
you just set a
You know,
mouthful.
so Fabulous. What?
I remember if like one
Mhm.
of my aunts, she's not with us anymore, but
Mhm.
she had that type of character, being narcissistic, and I
Mhm.
remember her mom, my great grandmother, ain't play. She shut
Mhm.
it down. But if
Mhm.
she wasn't around, I remember the siblings
Mhm.
would sort of like pet it, like
Mhm.
let's not get her started, or let's
Mhm.
just leave it alone because we don't want her to
Mhm.
get started. And it's like, no, let's get started because
Mhm.
because like what I notice about narcissistic people, like they could dish it,
But they
but
can't
they can't
take
take
it.
it. So if she was
Absolutely.
sitting quietly, that's one thing, but you're poking
Exactly.
and you're picking and you're
Exactly.
pulling and starting trouble with everyone else to bring them down. And then when
Exactly.
people respond, it's a
It's a
problem. I don't
problem.
get that part.
It's a problem because they don't want to see themselves in a bad light.
Right.
But they're in a bad light. When you're doing bad things, you're just doing bad things. I mean, come on, let's own it.
Right.
We have to own these things, but a narcissist owns nothing.
Nothing.
They own nothing, and it's always the other person. The other person is always in the wrong. It's
Mhm.
the other person, and you cleaning out somebody else's backyard, and your backyard is full of junk.
Yes.
And your grass need to be cut, but you over here in my yard. You know what I mean? Trying to find fault in what I'm doing, and I don't like that. I
Mm-mm.
just don't like that. We're dealing with a family member right now that is high is a number 10 for this person. Narcissist, a number 10. He's on 10. He's a number 10. And he done backed up the family because he won't own up to what he's done
Right.
wrong.
Right.
Just
Right.
own it. I did it. Please forgive me. Let's talk about it. And that's the other part to a narcissist.
Right.
They don't like communication.
No. No.
They
Mm-mm.
don't want to talk about it.
Not if the light is on them. They'll
Oh,
talk about other people now, but if the
that
subject is
part.
them,
That
no.
part. They don't want to.
No.
They don't want to talk about it because they
Mm-mm.
don't want. They don't want what they're doing to be, magnified.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we have to own. We have to own our stuff.
Yes.
We
Yes.
gotta own it. What we gonna do with it?
Right.
You
Right.
can't project it on me, which they do.
Yeah, they
They
do.
do a lot of deflecting.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't me. Throwing stones, but doing this with your hands.
Yep.
It ain't me, but yeah, it is you. And we're dealing with this person today, and that this person in our family has turned the family. Well, not turned the family. Let me use another term. Has divided the family,
Mm.
and it doesn't feel good to be divided because
No.
when you're divided, that means that the enemy can conquer.
Right.
And so we're
Absolutely.
trying to stay as close together. The ones of us that are left, we're trying to stay close together and keep that gap
Mm-hmm.
closed so the enemy won't come in and conquer. because of what this under this other individual is doing. So I don't like the spirit of a narcissist. I don't like it. I think that is dangerous. It's dangerous because it's going to set these people up for failure.
Yeah, it's too bad.
And it sets them up for failure.
They do. They usually die alone. I'm gonna just put it like that.
Let's say it again.
It's just raw. They die alone.
Yeah, they really do.
Because they become so draining around everyone
Yes,
around them
yes,
that you just
yes.
don't want to be bothered
I
anymore.
don't. We don't.
You know, and they go on
Yeah.
these campaign tours of
Yeah.
trying to gain
Yeah.
sympathy,
Yeah.
like little sympathy tours. They
Yeah.
go tell it from the rooftop on what everyone done to them, but
Yeah.
don't find yourself nowhere in it.
No,
People
never.
get tired of that.
Of course, and especially when you didn't create the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't create this fire. You didn't create this confusion, this chaos.
Yeah.
You didn't do it.
Yeah.
They did it.
Yes,
You
yes,
know what
yes.
I mean? And then when they get caught up where they find this is the other part to this narcissist thing. And I like what you said. They go out and they try to find sympathy and they try to find empathy or whatever. And they will find weak people because
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot of weak links out there.
That's so true.
A lot of these spirits, they like to link up together, so they will find somebody that will listen
Right.
and maybe even agree
Mm-hmm.
and start giving them all this negative advice, and then the problem becomes bigger than what it is.
Right.
You understand
That's
where I'm
so
going?
true. That's
You
so
know,
true.
So
That's so they
Go
link
ahead,
up with
Fabulous.
people that like the gossip. Like
Yep.
let's just say what it is.
Yep.
They link up with
Yeah.
people who like mess.
Yeah.
They like chaos and
Yeah.
confusion. We talked about that last
Yeah.
week. It's the people that love it.
Exactly.
So they do link up with those people, and it's
Exactly.
true. I mean, they just spread problems.
It's their problem all across the board.
Mhm.
They are the problem. They're the problem. Hello out there.
Hi everyone. I see you, Jesse.
Hi.
Hyros Movies.
Hello.
Sands, Mackenzie. Hi everybody.
Hi.
So we wanted, put in the comments if you ever experienced a narcissistic person, because I know, they're in all our families,
Absolutely.
your community,
Absolutely.
your workplace.
Absolutely. And it's really sad that it's in your family.
Yes,
That
yes.
hurts.
Mhm.
That really hurts because, when you look at family, we talk, we think family is just, the most solid group of people
Mhm.
in the whole world.
Right.
Family can just do no wrong. But it's sad because narcissist people show you exactly what family is all about.
Mhm.
Because just because you family, it don't make it your relationship. That's what I want to say. It doesn't mean a family is a united group of people that
Right.
love each other, that's loyal,
Right.
that's
right.
loyal to each other. But when you break that loyalty, now you're just in a plain relationship. You're just related.
Just related. That's it.
It's no real love
Mm-mm,
there. You're
mm-mm.
just related. That's what I'm trying to say. I took the long way around, but
Yeah.
family is supposed to be, united and you go to your family for anything and
Right.
they're gonna be there. But
Right.
once one person break loyalty, that's the problem.
It really is.
It's
It's
a
sad.
problem.
It's really sad, and I think we go wrong by giving our family passes.
Oh yes.
Like instead of knocking the head off the giant
Exactly.
from the get go,
Exactly.
we pat them like
Mhm.
like my elder aunts, the
Yeah.
great aunts. They patted the problem, and
Yeah.
they, let's just for the sake of having a good day today.
Yeah.
At functions.
Exactly.
We're just gonna leave her be, and it's like no,
Exactly.
address it because
Exactly.
they feel like it's okay
And
to
it's not.
act the way they act, and it's just
It's
not
not okay.
cool. So it was red flags.
Fabulous. And when you said that, it kind of opened up another avenue because they're not thinking about your feelings. They're
Mm-mm.
not thinking about your emotions or what they're putting you through.
No.
Especially when you love the individual,
Right.
when you had a real relationship, like a bond, and you love them like you love them.
Love them.
And then when they turn like
Yeah.
this, it's like I can't believe this happened to me. What is
Right.
going on?
Because you know what? Because they didn't show you, like, they didn't do it to you.
Exactly.
They were always that way.
Exactly.
Because they're selfish. Those are
Fabulous.
selfish people. They were always that way, but they just didn't strike you
Oh my
at
God.
those times during those years. So you're loving your family and you're being there for your family, but your family member was a selfish individual.
Exactly.
They were mean spirited. They weren't a good
part.
person.
Oh my
They didn't
goodness.
show you really who they are or what they're capable of. Like, put it like that. Like, people are capable of really hurting you, man,
Oh
family
my
or not.
God.
It hurts.
I was hurt. I
Mhm.
was really, really hurt. I was hurt. I mean, the core of me was broken.
Mhm.
You know, because I never thought it would come from this, from the left.
Right. Right.
And I
right.
thought it would come from the right. I
Right.
was looking at a whole different individual.
Mhm.
Never thought the other person and the person I was looking at became my best friend.
See?
Became loyal.
See?
He is they are so loyal to me. My best friend. And the other one went to the left.
Yeah.
And that thing hurt me. It broke me, but it not only broke me, but it helped build me too in certain
Absolutely.
areas that you can't look at people like naturally.
Mhm.
You got to try to see what the soul of these people are,
Right.
and I don't care who it is.
That's my point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, that's
like
the-
they
that's
show
it.
signs when they did it to
Yeah.
other people,
Yeah.
right? It didn't affect you at that
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
but you saw them act that way with someone
With
else,
somebody else,
you know,
yeah.
and you didn't hold them like this is who they are.
This is exactly who
They showed
were
you a
all
little
the
bit.
time.
They showed you a little bit.
Exactly.
Like my aunt died alone. When I tell y'all alone, y'all.
Yeah.
Nobody
yeah.
still talks about it. She was
Yeah.
just buried a couple of weeks ago, and when I kid you not even a topic of conversation.
See?
Because she was that mean. You don't want to go out like
You
that.
don't. You want to at least have, somebody there to say something good about you
Right.
for Jesus' sake. You don't want everybody stay home. When it's time to put you down, you want somebody
Everybody
to get
stay
up and
home.
say something nice. But at the end of the day, we just want to, talk about this narcissist because people think families are perfect and they're not. And
Mm-mm.
then there's there's families that don't even want to talk about it.
That's the problem.
They don't even conversate about it. And
Yeah.
it needs to be a conversation because at the end of the day, that one person can divide a whole family. Divide them in half, cut them up in half. And then you scrambling around trying to figure out, well, what happened?
Mhm.
I didn't know that, like you said, Fabulous, I didn't know this person was like this.
Right. And
I
they-
had no clue.
And they sit around like they ain't do
Blindsided me.
nothing.
Oh my
when the
God.
deed is done and everyone is divided now you got
Yeah.
a them versus us, right?
Exactly.
That person is sitting back like they ain't do nothing. Just an angel.
Didn't
It
do
wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I ain't caused this.
I didn't do that.
That's what they do.
That's exactly what they do. And have you out here looking silly, stupid. Now we trying to fix it.
Mhm.
The ones of us that didn't create it, now we trying to fix it.
Right. It's
And
not
it's
right.
not right. But at the end of the day, we know that God's got everything under control.
Amen. Yeah.
And that's who we go back to. We go back to God because He's the only one that sees everything. And you know
Mhm.
what? We can walk in peace
Yeah.
because we know.
Mhm.
We know the truth.
Right.
And these narcissistic people get out here and lie.
Mhm.
They're good at lying.
They're real good. That's
They're
why
good
master
at
manipulators.
lying.
They're
Yes,
really good.
indeed.
Professional.
Have people really looking at you like you the suspect.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
And they're the ones that really, done started off. Well, listen, we ain't gonna hold you long today.
Right.
We thank you for showing up. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Derek, is that Derek Ward?
Yep. Hi, Derek.
Said hi. Hello. Thank you guys for showing up. This is making us feel good. What
Right.
you think, Fabulous?
I think it's awesome because I know it's a relatable topic. So you
Yeah.
guys don't hold back. Put something in the comments. Let us know we ain't out here by ourselves.
Exactly.
Because we don't all encounter a narcissistic person.
Exactly.
And we're going to close, but it's sad with family because you think with family, I got to just continue to love them. And what you do, you love them, but
Yeah.
you got to just put up with it because it's family. And no.
No. You have to separate yourself. At times, you have to separate yourself, and you have to feed them with a long handle spoon. And then there's times, when you're feeding them with a long handle spoon, it even sometimes, they kind of bite the spoon. They do.
Snap the olive branch.
They do it. They really do it. So you have to be prepared for that too. You know, 'cause especially when you're trying to do your best to bring everything together, and they just won't accept that.
No.
They want more. And and at the end of the day, and we're gonna close with this right here, and I really mean this from my heart. I love everybody, and I
That's
know
it.
Fabulous do too.
Absolutely.
We love everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you break loyalty with me, or you do this to me, after this, there is nothing else coming. You can't come back from this
No.
with me.
Mm-mm.
I can't trust you. And see, trust plays a big part in being, loyal to a person. And when you break that, when you cause that not to be anymore, then there's no coming back from that.
Right,
It's just
right.
not. Now let me say this. I'm gonna clear that one up. I have to love you because I'm going to heaven, so I
That's
have
it.
to love this person.
Amen.
But I don't have to break bread with them, and I don't have to be around them. Only thing I have to do is forgive them in my heart, and I do forgive them. But I don't want to be around them,
Same.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's perfectly okay. So we have to make sure that our hearts is right. We can, we have to keep that love in our heart, but we don't have to break bread with these people. We can, like I said, a long handle spoon. I mean, I don't even really want to be in this person's presence. I really don't, because I was just that hurt. And when a person hurts you like that, you're always gonna wonder if the next person is gonna do it,
Right,
or the
right.
next person is gonna do it. So we have to stay before God in prayer and ask God to help to heal our hearts. Fabulous.
Well, I'm going to end this with saying I do love everybody.
Yeah.
But if I'm not interrupting your peace, don't come over here interrupting
don't
mine.
interrupt ours. Don't do it.
I'm not a troublemaker. I never was like that. I never
No.
was into, the negativity things,
Right.
just starting trouble. Like
Yeah.
I'm a peaceful person.
Exactly.
Peaceful. And I like to remain peaceful.
Exactly.
So I can't mess with you.
Yeah, but because I'm gonna say this, when you cross us,
Oh man. Lord Jesus.
I mean, they can't come back from
No,
it.
no.
Can't do it. So we good over here.
Absolutely.
We good. And guess what? Fabulous don't know this, but one day we're gonna show our face.
Yeah, we are.
Right now I'm not ready, but one day we're gonna surprise you, and we're gonna come out
We're
and
gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah, we're gonna take
Yeah.
it to the next level and do
Right.
something different. Okay.
Right.
But listen, right now I like it faceless. So hello.
Hi everyone. Come back.
Come back and see us on next week at
Yeah.
2 p.m. And we're going to have another fabulous hot topic to talk about. And, this is reality. This is real talk, and I think if families would really just get together and talk about it, even friends or whoever, you're in a close relationship with, if you just keep your communication open, I think your relationship will be much better and much stronger. Okay,
Right.
Communication is the key.
It definitely
All
is.
right. So listen, thank you so much for showing up. And once again, I'm Queen.
And I'm fabulous.
And we'll see you this time next week on Monday at 2 p.m., okay? All right. Bye.
Can I come in now?